We're now on page 600 in Chapter 9, this section titled Summarizing Scenarios. And the first instructions are on page 601. We want to select cells E8 to E11. Here's E8, 9, 10, and 11. And click What If up here. We're on the Data tab again. Go to What If. And we want the Scenario Manager again. And we want to click the Summary button here. And we want to create a scenario summary. And I'm going to click on the OK button. We better select those cells again. Something happened to my selection here. Let's try that again. And the selection should be E8 through E11. And okay, now we can go back here and we can click on OK to close that. And it creates an inventory summary, and we're going to rename this inventory scenario summary. So just put the word inventory here on the beginning, double click and change it. And we're going to change the tab for this one to black, and drag that to the right of report 2, so that's going to go over here. And this sheet should look the same as figure 9-73 on the top of page 603. Okay, let's go to page 604, and it says click the Show Inventory Worksheet tab, which was back here, and click the What If button again, and we want the Scenario Manager again, and the Summary button again, and in the Scenario Summary dialog box, we're going to do a pivot table report this time. And we're going to click on OK. And we end up with something that looks like this, which should match figure 976 on the top of page 605. So 300, 350, 590, 750, 150, 200, and then over here 1040 and 1300. We're going to rename this worksheet inventory scenario pivot table. So again, we're just sticking the word inventory on the beginning, so double click down there and move the cursor to the beginning, and we change the tab color to rose accent 6. There we go. Drag the pivot table to the right of the inventory scenario summary tab, so that's going to be over here ways. So there's the inventory scenario summary, and there we've got it. Reduce the width of column A so that columns A through E are all visible, and I've got a wide screen here, so I don't really need to worry about that. Okay, and now we're on the last section of the chapter, preparing a workbook for distribution. And I'm on page 606, number 1, halfway down the page. Save the workbook with the name Rivers Edge Show Inventory Analysis 2. So we're going to do a save as. Rivers Edge Rivers Edge Show Inventory Analysis 2, and again put your name on the end so you know that it's one that you've created. And click the Show Inventory Sheet tab to make the Show Inventory the active worksheet. So let's shrink this down a little bit so we can see more of these tabs down here. The tabs are getting awfully long because the names are so long. So Show Inventory. Click File on the ribbon to open the Backstage View. If necessary, click the Info tab. The Info tab is already selected. And click the Check for Issues button. And so here's our Check for Issues button, and we want to inspect the document. And we get this Document Inspector dialog box, and now we're on the top of page 608. and click Inspect. And it tells you what it found here, and there are some things here that you may want to remove before you distribute this to somebody else. They don't tell us to specifically do anything, so we're just going to close it. And now we're going to click on Save As, and under Type down here, we're going to change the type to an XL97 to 2003 workbook. So we're saving it under the old file format. And then we're going to click on the Save button. And we should get a little dialog box here that tells us about some possible errors that we might have, or not errors necessarily, but problems that we might have. And looks like there are 4 things here. Usually these are relatively minor. It says click the Continue button and click File on the ribbon to open the Backstage View again, and click Protect the Workbook button, and we're going to mark it as Final, and we get a dialog box, and we click on OK, and if necessary click on Continue and click on OK. And that is the end of Chapter 9.